we are getting another look at the new Barbie movie starring Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. It shows Barbie and Ken struggling as they find themselves exploring the real world. Take a look.
It's the real world. What's going on? Why are these men looking at me?
Yeah, they're also staring at me.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
If this got out, this could mean extremely weird things for our world. This would be catastrophic!
We haven't played with Barbie since we were like 5 years old.
Oh.
No one rests until this doll is back in a box.
What are we thinking? Tori, you're kind of channeling Barbie today.
Thank you. I said earlier I'm the Jewish Barbie. I'm Barbara Schulman in Boca, not Malibu. That's my favorite. And I didn't marry a doctor. I became a doctor. That was my whole stay. Thank you. This is what I have to say about this. In case some people thought this was a ridiculously shiny, glossy piece of trash, Greta Gerwig is the director. Right. Cool, feminist, indie. Noah Baumbach is the writer. They're partners. Super rad, Oscar-nominated writer. Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling. Very cool and picky players, right? This is actually a commentary, and thank you for that word you gave me earlier, on, I think, feminine and femininity and feminists. And what it does is it takes Barbie and makes a satire of what she would be like in this world, post-Me Too, the cancel culture world. Oh. And the people there didn't used to play with the boxy Barbie. We did. So there's all this generational situations happening. Where does Ken fit in? Where does men fit in? Where do women go? Do they have jobs? It's so interesting that it's so much smarter, so much deeper, and actually so much funnier and satirical. I think it's going to be a huge success. I really, really do. I think it's going to be a little indie cult blow up. I really do.
I'm happy to hear that because, listen, the Barbies that I played with growing up are not the Barbies today. Sophie and all her little friends are into Barbies, and you cruise that aisle, and it is so diverse. Mm-hmm. Everything from Barbie in a wheelchair, Barbie as a doctor, Barbie as a farmer, Barbie this, Barbie that, different color hair, different color skin types. It's really refreshing.
Of course.
And I don't know if her feet are still like this, are they?
I don't know, but in the movie, the scary thing is the day she realizes her feet go flat.
Okay, good. So I've always been like, poor Barbie stuck in those heels. But yeah. That's
a take on femininehood and what we had to wear. And it's fascinating to put that pastiche of Barbie in 2023. How does she fit in this post-Me Too world?
Are you guys going to see it, Jeff and Erica?
Well,
I'll see it.
Okay.
After that Citizen Kane review. Barbie's the new Rosebud.
I think it's smarter than people think it is.
I was going to say it looks good, but there you go. Yeah.
Oscars, huh?
Yeah.
Nominated
I mean,
next
she
year?
used feminist 4 times, but different analogies.
Because I think if you're a woman,
she said feminine hood.
Femininity,
feminine hood. I hadn't heard that before.
I think people were scared that this might be anti-female as a Barbie movie, and I think it's the opposite.
Awesome, Tori. Thank you for that. Okay, did Whoopi Goldberg just throw her own network under the bus while having a discussion about reality TV on The View? Whoopi said that American Idol, which also airs on ABC, was the beginning of the downfall of society. Watch.
Once we gave people the ability to judge other people, I think we ran amok with it, and it's gone out of control.
So Whoopi clarified she was talking about the first version of American Idol that began on Fox in 2002 and launched the careers of stars like Kelly Clarkson, Jennifer Hudson, and Carrie Underwood. There was a big difference. I just want to state that because, you know, I've been watching American Idol from day one. I know you have too, Jeff, so please chime in. But the beginning was very Simon Cowell, very harsh criticism. A lot of people laughed at it. I did. I'll be the first to admit it. I loved the audition process where you got to see people flop. However, looking back on it, times have changed. I wouldn't feel comfortable laughing at people flopping anymore. It was a different time. I was a different age, and we have evolved. So do you think the ABC version that we see now, where it's a lot more supportive with their criticism as opposed to what we used to see, is the right step in the right direction to Whoopi's point, or am I thinking too much of it?
No, I get what you're saying. I disagree with Whoopi. I think it's been around forever. I think judging people, and I think it still is, how we talk about it on television and in person has changed. That's the only thing that has changed. I don't think American Idol made it that way. I think the last couple of years in society has made it that way. We all judge people in our own minds just because we don't say it, and we pad all the walls and make it, oh, that's so great, and you look perfect all the time, and yas, everything. That's not healthy either. I don't think that's healthy. I think a healthy criticism somewhere in between is where we need to be. Telling everybody they're great all the time doesn't get you anywhere. My whole life, whether it be sports or auditioning, you get told no, and you get told you got to get better, and that's what makes you better. Telling people they're great at their job when they're not is not healthy for society. So I kind of disagree in a way with what Whoopi's saying, but maybe I'm looking at it wrong.
Well, I mean, I appreciate the perspective. It's interesting to see the juxtaposition of the ownership, because I think that's really where we're coming from. When we voted, like, I cheer for Kelly Clarkson and Jennifer Hudson because I've been cheering for them. You were invested. Since, right, I was invested in their success. Sure. And I think sometimes people take it the opposite way, where they're invested in someone's demise. Yes. And I think that's where society started to normalize just being vocal, where, you know, we were having a conversation earlier about someone in the airport who just decided to critique someone who was standing there minding their own business. Okay. So that's when it's gone too far in that way, because how you gonna come over and just say some things? Like, it's weird. It's very strange. Right. Very strange. What do you think, Tor?
I don't know. I don't know.
You were prepared for your answer.
Yeah, no, I was actually.
Do you want to talk about Barbie?
Well, I actually was thinking a little bit about Barbie. I don't know. How do you feel?
Wow.
Is that my point of view? Tori will go.
Perfect.
Why? What's wrong?
Nothing. I just.
You just zone out.
I was thinking of other things on Friday.
That is so unlike Tori. Please come back for when we have a rap show, because that is definitely unlike Tori.
Very sorry.
Tori's always ready to pounce with her opinion.
Very sorry.
Okay, so speaking of reality TV, former Chrisley Knows Best star Todd Chrisley is having a rough time in prison. Todd and his wife, Julie, were convicted of tax evasion and defrauding banks out of more than $30 million. He's now serving 12 years in federal prison. But according to the Daily Mail, he's feeling guilty that his greed got the better of him. Meantime, another reality star in lockup, Jen Shah, could see her bank account get a little smaller. The feds are going after 25% of her earnings from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in order to pay back some of the $6.7 million she defrauded from people. And former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kim Zolciak is trying to make some cash on the side by selling some of her wigs. Kim is selling wigs on her online store for between $1,500 and $2,750 a pop. As we know, she's going through a divorce and reportedly owes more than $1 million to the IRS. Erica's been shaking her head for about a minute. Please tell us, Erica.
Well, it's like, you know, I, again, do not dance on someone's demise. Like, that is horrific. However, you fed us all of these, like, performances of wealth. People were invested in something that you knew was a farce. You utilized and fraudulently scammed people out of their life savings in some cases. Yeah. And now, well, how are we supposed to, what are we supposed to do? I mean, Chrisley is not feeling great in prison. Okay. Like, I mean, what,
that's the technical term.
Right? Like, what are we supposed to do with this?
I don't think you should feel guilty at all for judging someone who has been convicted of a crime. This isn't someone that did something, a faux pas, that we're looking down upon. They broke the law. And let me tell you, with Kim, at least, who hasn't yet, but we'll see, she's in some debt with the IRS, selling hair is never, like, used wigs, never good. I mean, I get it. It's just she went from so high and conned us all to really so low. And I don't feel bad about sort of judging that, because it was all fake. Wait,
like
what?
Those wigs.
Like those wigs. Are you guys thinking about Barbie?
No,
okay.
I'm listening.
Okay. Yeah. I just, you know, I love reality TV. So it's like, reality TV is my thing, okay? I don't love the idea. There was a time when certain shows, it was like almost aspirational. And now it feels like so much that we're being fed is all just smoke and mirrors.
Right, it's not real at all.
But don't you think they do it, yes, to keep up with the Joneses, I get that, but also for our entertainment?
Oh no, and I appreciate it for my entertainment, but I'm not entertained when someone is going to prison for defrauding the elderly.
victims,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just not entertained by that.
Yeah, it's gotten dirty.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of reality TV personalities, I could use a couple more bucks. I'm just saying.
Who? You?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that your plea?
Bert was here, and now he's gone. He left. He ran out. He knew something was coming.
Just going to take the opportunity. Okay, so, and I agree with you. Tom Hanks recently addressed Harvard's graduating class and joked about receiving an honorary doctorate of arts. Watch.
That without having done a lick of work, without having spent any time in class, without once walking into that library, in order to have anything to do with the graduating class of Harvard, its faculty, or its distinguished alumni, I make a damn good living playing someone who did. It's the way of the world, kids.
He's so likable. Tom also told the grads to defend the truth and to resist being indifferent in the world. Wow. What did you think about Dr. Tom Hanks' advice?
It was great. I watch a lot of like positivity, and a lot of them come from what do you call that?
Commencement
speeches. Yeah.
Make
So he
the
did
bed.
a really great job. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Yeah.
Admiral McRaven, I think his name is. But yeah, these commencement speeches, I think they put a lot of time and work and effort, and it shows.
Yeah,
These kids will remember that for the rest of their lives, for sure.
You also forget how funny Tom Hanks is, don't you? You know, like bosom buddies and all that. You forget he's like, and big. He's like he's just a very funny guy. So I like when he brings humor. And secondly, the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference and apathy. And I appreciate him bringing that into what I might say a Harvard graduating class will be some power players in our politics, in our journalism. So appreciate that from Mr. Hanks with the truth. Why am I shutting up everybody?
Dude, everybody left when you were talking. Everyone's like, well,
hello?
I'm going on my Memorial Day break. Tori's like, admiration and inspiration.
People are sneaking out of the building.
Well, it's like,
Hello?
it's over here.